Imagine being in the mountains, maybe in the Alps, in den Alpen, on a warm, sunny day. You want to go for a hike and climb a huge mountain. Now, there are several trails leading to the top that you can choose from. Some that might be a bit more steep at the beginning, but will quickly lead to a beautiful view. And others, much longer ones, that seem to be slightly easier at the beginning, but will become very winding with muddy parts threatening you to get stuck. Easy choice, isn't it? With languages, it's similar. If you understand why you should take the road that is slightly steep at the beginning, you can avoid getting stuck so many times along the way. Learn from the 3 biggest mistakes other German learners have made and speed up your language journey. Hallo und willkommen. Hello and welcome to the Uplevel Your German podcast. Ich bin Charlotte. I'm Charlotte, founder of the language school CharLingua and host of this show. My mission is to make your language learning journey as easy as possible. Today, I've got 10 tips to improve your German pronunciation for you. That's a PDF that comes with audio exercises. You can get it if you go to charlingua.com/020 or follow the link in the description. Now, let's dive in. Wir legen los. So, mistake number 1 is not learning the articles along with new nouns. When you're just starting to learn your first German words and sentences, you might think that people will understand you anyway. At that stage, whenever you get mixed up with articles, people would either pretend not to notice or cheer you on for making the effort to speak German at all. And they might even tell you that it doesn't matter. And really, why should a fork be feminine, a knife neuter, and a spoon masculine? Why bother with this illogical, boring stuff? If you think about grammar being a framework for a house, then the nouns might be the walls. The great thing about walls in this house of German is you can move the walls around to new places. Wouldn't you love to be able to move walls within your house? Create a bigger room when needed? Change the feeling of a room by choosing a wall with a different shade in the morning than in the evening? Well, this is what you can do with German sentences. For example, let's take the phrase, the mother gives the pencil to the kid. Die Mutter gibt dem Kind den Stift. You could also say, dem Kind gibt die Mutter den Stift. Or, den Stift gibt die Mutter dem Kind. As the main stress is usually put on the first noun, each of these sentences will have a slightly different meaning, but it will always tell us that there is a mother who's giving a pencil to a kid. If you're using the wrong articles, people may be confused if the context isn't obvious, or you might be confused about something that someone else is saying if you can't identify the articles. Why would a pencil give the mother to the child? This will make your communication so much harder. Not having learned the articles at the beginning means you will need to go back and studying them later. In the worst case, you've already associated the wrong article with a noun and really have to work on that. Therefore, save yourself from this frustration and learn the article plus noun together. Even better, put in the plural form as well, and you'll be perfectly equipped for your language journey. So, you learn article plus noun plus plural. For example, der Stift, Stifte. Das Kind, Kinder. Die Mutter, Mütter. Think of it as some sort of study 1, get 2 free. The second big mistake I see German learners make is taking long breaks from studying. As with so many things in life, consistency is key when it comes to learning languages. It can be extremely frustrating and discouraging if you've been studying German diligently for many weeks, then go on a well-deserved holiday and come back having forgotten so much. Fortunately, you can avoid this quite easily. How about simply reading a book in German or listening to an audiobook or podcast like this one while spending time outside? Just 15 minutes every other day will do the trick of reminding your brain of this strange new language it is supposed to learn. And even once in a week is better than nothing. But if you're just starting to learn German, then you will feel the negative effects after just 2 weeks of not doing any German. One very easy way is to follow some German accounts on Instagram. This way you're reminded of many things you've studied and maybe even learn a few things in addition. My account is at Deutsch.CharLingua, and I'd be thrilled to welcome you to our language learning community. If you're serious about learning German or any new language, it makes sense to join a proper language course. Using an app is fun and entertaining, and that can be a great start. But if we go back to our example of the beginning, hiking in the Alps, without a map or a structured learning path, it will be very difficult to reach your goal. Of course, it doesn't have to be my online course, but choose a course with a teacher you like, and that will help you to move forward and prevent you from getting stuck. Number 3 is not working seriously on pronunciation and intonation right from the start. You can hear that I'm not a native English speaker, and of course that's totally fine. After all, it's the second language, and it's in addition to the first language that you speak fluently. But with a good pronunciation, a speaker is intelligible, even if there are errors in vocabulary or grammar, while with poor pronunciation, it is much harder to understand a speaker, even if all of the grammar is correct. This starts with the correct pronunciation of sounds. So in English, an example would be pronouncing the TH, this or dis. In German, we've got, for example, combinations of sounds, or ä, ö, ü, a umlaut, o umlaut, and u umlaut. In addition, you need to use the right intonation patterns, like the rising or lowering of the voice or emphasizing the right part of a word. These things will make you sound much more competent. Locals will also perceive your language level as higher. The reason is that while we pick up mistakes like the wrong articles consciously, we tend to take in the pronunciation and intonation subconsciously. This is particularly important if you're working in a position where people look up to you as a leader or an authority, like a manager or a doctor or a nurse. People will not trust you as much if they somehow feel that there's something odd in the way you're saying things, even if every single one of your sentences is grammatically correct. Fortunately, this is not difficult to learn. I'm always amazed at how much more competent and German my students sound after just some exercises. I've got a free PDF with audio exercises that you can download and start practicing right away. Just go to charlingua.com/020 or follow the link in the description. And when you're choosing a language course, make sure that the teacher focuses not just on grammar, but also on speaking and pronunciation. So, as a recap, number 1, learn every noun with its article and plural form. Number 2, avoid long breaks. If you aren't proficient yet, 2 weeks are a long time. And finally, don't forget to work on your pronunciation. So, that's it for today. Thank you for listening and bis nächste Woche in einer neuen Episode von Uplevel Your German.